All information contained in this podcast is general in nature and does not consider your individual circumstances. You should consider the appropriateness of this information with regards to your individual objectives, financial situation, and needs. Welcome to Sharing More Than the Sheets, a podcast to help you and your partner make better financial and lifestyle decisions so that you can both focus on the things that you love. I'm your host, Michael Khouri, financial planner, green thumb, husband, and just dad. So many times on previous episodes, I've talked about the benefits of seeing a financial advisor and some of the discussions that I'll have with people or clients on a regular basis really are around the fact of the benefit of having a financial advisor, especially for those that have never had one before, or especially if I meet somebody that doesn't actually know what a financial advisor does. Today, I wanted to focus on the risks of not seeing a financial advisor. And I'd probably say the biggest one is not knowing what you don't know. So having someone there, a coach or an advisor of any sort, their job is to advise you. Their job is to help you. And as you know, people, as we all are, we tend to have a habit sometimes of feeling that we know everything, or feeling that we know everything that we need to know. But it's a fact that you don't know what you don't know. And I can confidently say that with every interaction I've had with any client in my life, I have always taught them something they didn't know, or I've always mentioned something they weren't aware of, or I've discovered something, or maybe explained an opportunity that they're not taking advantage of. So we don't know what we don't know. And if you have a good financial advisor, especially an honest financial advisor, which I'd like to think all financial advisors are, you will hopefully be able to learn something that you don't know. The second risk of not having a financial advisor is not knowing if your investments are set up correctly. So superannuation, as an example, has something inside it called an asset allocation. So essentially, it's the way your super's invested. To some people, when I look at advice or when I look at a client's situation for the first time, in very small situations, what they have actually suits them. And I'll recommend that they keep what they have because it suits their needs. It suits their risk appetite. But in many cases, we actually find that somebody's risk appetite is this, and their super is invested in this particular way. So many times we'll find that the investment structure is not suitable, and it doesn't suit that person's goals and what they want and what they like. And the issue is, without proper financial advice, you won't actually know whether your investments or superannuation, for example, is invested appropriately. Some people do know, and they're switched on, and they do a lot of research. And I have come across a few people in the past, and I've been very surprised with how much they do know. But the fact is that most people don't know. The issue with investments, or even superannuation, is that if you're invested incorrectly, you sometimes won't even realize until it's too late, or sometimes you'll never realize at all. So that is the second risk of not having a financial advisor. The third risk is behavioral mistakes. So as an advisor, it's our job to question, it's our job to advise, it's our job to be there as a sounding board. And there are so many times I talk to someone and we're talking about, for example, them buying a car or them buying a particular investment property. But then just as a discussion, we go back to their goals. We go back to what they're working on. And in many cases, they'll actually find that what they were thinking of doing is not exactly in line with their goals. They'll find that they were doing something that they were comfortable with, but now that they look at it and after it's been questioned, basically, they realize that it may not be the best decision, and they sometimes will change their mind and look at something else. So having someone there, again, that can help you avoid behavioral mistakes makes a big, big difference. And the last one I wanted to talk about is opportunity cost. So the risk of not having a financial advisor is not taking advantage of a certain opportunity. One example could be just having money sitting in cash and not having it invested. Now, many people feel having money in the bank is safe, but the issue is when you look at inflation, which is the cost of everything going up, and you look at what your dollar is buying you, you'll actually find that there's a bit of risk to that because the money in your bank will be worth less over time with inflation compared to it actually being invested and actually doing something and being out there and being invested in the market. The other thing as well, and this relates back to one of my first points, but not being invested correctly, because again, there's an opportunity cost there because you could have had your money invested more appropriately. Or there could be a tax opportunity that you could be taking advantage of. Or there could be a contribution strategy into superannuation that you didn't know existed, or you did know and you thought you were doing, but you were doing it the wrong way, which I see many times as well. So there are many risks of not having a financial advisor. I've touched on a few. And from this episode, I just encourage you to contact an advisor, have a chat. I'm always open to have a discussion on the phone for at least 15 minutes. And I'm happy to give my time like that to someone to see what that person's needs are. And if you can find an advisor that understands you and an advisor that you feel will be there for you, hopefully you'll be able to understand the value of financial advice. And these things that I've explained, the risks of not having a financial advisor will become a lot clearer and a lot more obvious to you as well. Not paying someone to do something, doing it yourself always sounds appealing, but when you actually end up seeing an expert and you pay them for their time and you pay them for something like financial advice, most of the time, from my experience, you'll find that you'll be in a much better off position and you'll be able to manage your money better and make better financial decisions so that you can do better, be better, and feel better. Thanks for joining us on Sharing More Than the Sheets. Please make sure you subscribe to be updated with future episode releases, and feel free to share this episode with any friends or family that you think it might benefit. Please visit us at sharingmorethanthesheets.com.au to submit questions or requests for future podcast topics. These podcasts have been brought to you by Better Financial Planning Australia. To book a 15-minute phone chat, visit betterfinancialplanning.com.au.